Oh no, I keep losing SR and I just don't know why. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you what I think are the top 3 reasons why people do lose SR. This isn't a clickbait video. This isn't like, do these things and you will gain SR. No, I'm going to explain to you why I think these are the top 3 reasons a lot of players out there do lose SR. It's not about your mechanical ability. It's just about the way that you approach and play the game. So, let's get stuck into this. Okay, number 1, right, or the first one, these are not really in order. They're not like this is the 1, 2, 3. Even though I've called it top 3, it's not like that. These are just 3 reasons, right? First one I want to cover, though, is playing the wrong hero. Now, I don't mean you're going out there and you're playing the wrong hero like to counter the enemy's team comp, or you're playing the wrong hero to complement your team comp. I made a video on this recently, and the comments on that video are awesome, and that video went down really well, so I'm happy about that. But it goes through my thought process of what should I be playing to complement my team and counter the enemy team. That's not the point I'm trying to make here, even though I'm saying maybe you're playing the wrong hero. What I mean is you're playing the wrong hero for your play style. Now, an example I've got of this, and this is a very simple and kind of easy to understand example. Of course, there are tons of examples for this. However, I want to focus on Soldier and I want to focus on McCree. So, let's say you're a McCree player and you want to go into the fight first. Your team is here, their team is there, you're the McCree player. Instead of staying with your team, you rush forward to attack the enemy because you're bloodthirsty. The enemy kill you because you're not using your Reinhardt barrier because you're an idiot, ladies and gentlemen. But are you an idiot? Probably not, right? You just want to get there into the fight. You want to start doing damage. Same for Soldier. You like run into the fight, you know, in you go. Oh, I'm dead. Uh-oh. Nothing triggers me more than seeing DPS like that not use the tank's barriers, not stand behind the Reinhardt, not, you know, let the Roadhogs or whatever go in front and absorb the damage so they can sit at the back and do work. These heroes do not want to die straight away in a fight. However, if those players with that mentality of like, I want to rush in, I want to do the damage, I want to lead the charge, if maybe they played a tank, that might be more interesting to them. However, they probably wouldn't play a main tank, would they? Because they probably wouldn't find that as compelling as a DPS hero, because the whole reason they're playing a McCree or a Soldier is because they want to shoot the enemy. So what about a flex tank, ladies and gentlemen? What about your Divas? What about your Zaryas? Now, look at the example, or just picture this in your head. The example of the Soldier player running forward, straight past his own tanks, trying to shoot the enemy, gets killed because he's got no protection, he's got no backup, he's playing really stupid. Imagine if he's a Zarya player. Suddenly, his stupid mentality becomes a really good mentality because he's running forward using his bubble to absorb the damage to give himself more damage, and then he's pumping damage into the enemy team. He probably won't die instantly because he's Zarya, so the rest of his team rush past him. He then bubbles his main tank, carries on doing the damage. There is more value, and this is the concept I want to get across in this video. It's having value in your team to damage the enemy team, to be effective, not to instantly die, but play around what your strengths are. Now, this is going to be super hard for you guys to work out. That example I've just given you is, I think, the easiest kind of simplest example. If we look at a Diva, right? So Diva is very good at assassinating squishy targets. She's like a flanker tank, if you want to look at it that way, in a very simple kind of term. She's like an assassin, right? You can boost into the back line, boost onto a Widowmaker that's maybe out of position, fire your micro rockets, defense matrix as you go forward, shoot her, then melee her. You're just going to kill her. You're going to cause loads of problems. If you were playing a DPS hero, maybe a Widowmaker as well, and you're trying to take the Widow on 1v1, maybe that's not the best plan, but that's not really what I'm trying to get at, because that would be swapping to counter what the enemy are doing, right? Instead of trying to straight up outplay the enemy. What I'm trying to say here is your play style. What hero should you be playing? Now, a lot of people select a hero based off the way the hero looks to begin with. It's like, hey, I like the look of Mercy, I like the look of Zen, I like the look of Soldier. I'm just going to play this hero, and that's what I'm going to play. But maybe you're actually a tank player and not a DPS player. Maybe you're a support player and not a tank player. What I want you guys to do is play a lot of different roles. It's the only way you're going to work this out. More roles will just click with you really fast. I've had horror stories of people where they're like, Sty, so somebody sent me a message on Twitter, and he said he climbed like 200 or 300 SR, one-tricking Reaper. But then he started to lose loads of SR because people started to counter him. He started off at low plat. He went forward to high. I think actually he might have got into diamond actually. But when he got into diamond, one-tricking the Reaper is not as effective. It will work in some games, but teams will counter-pick him and just kill him. So he's not as effective. Now his problem is he doesn't have any other heroes he can move to. So it's super difficult for him to get value and be effective. So what I want you guys to take away from this first point is try the other heroes, but try and don't just say, oh, I'm just a DPS player. Try the different types of DPS. You're not just a Genji main. Try the hit scan. Try the Widows. Try the Hanzos. Try the Zaryas. Listen, guys, there's a lot of DPS players out there. Please try flex tanks. They are the most natural thing for you to go onto. Maybe Zen as well, I would say, or even Anna would be the supports for those DPS kind of players to try out and see how it works. But remember, like I said at the top of this point, if you just want to rush forward and attack the enemy, but you want to do damage to the enemy, but you want to be at the front, think about an off tank. That might suit your play style better. But this is all on an independent kind of case basis. But, try and be flexible, guys, because you'll be surprised. Like, I was I had the most, I don't want to use the word fun, but I had the most I felt I was having the most impact playing DPS. But actually, the highest I've ever got is playing main tank. So what does that tell you? Does it tell you that main tank's easy to play? No, it tells you that I'm better suited to that because at my highest sort of range of skill, I am more effective. I've got more, again, going back to this idea of value, if I'm communicating to the team, trying to set up plays, and then, just being the main tank. So this is the second point I want to go to. And I've just come back from the Spitfire Gilded Gala, which was a fantastic event. And I had a chat with a few people there, and a lot of people watch Overanalyzed, and they're like, Sty, Overanalyzed has really helped me. So I was like, well, what was the main thing that helped you out when it came to Overanalyzed? Overwhelmingly, it was the have a plan. You always say in the videos, have a plan. If you don't have a plan, how do you expect to win? So these players were sort of just going in, playing Overwatch. We've all been there, right? We load up Battle.net, or we're playing on the console. Hey, we're like, we go for it. We're just going in to play Overwatch. We see the map is Gibraltar. So just run through this scenario with me. The map's Gibraltar that we're loading into. We want to play a tank, yeah? I'm a Reinhardt main, but it's Gibraltar. Gibraltar might be slightly better for a Winston because of the high ground access, the verticality of the map. A Reinhardt, all he can do on the attack, basically get on the payload, push it forward. Okay, you could push onto the high ground. You could push onto the low ground. But Winston would be more effective on that map because he can get to the high ground, get to the low ground, change his position, pressure people. So my plan, number one, would be, okay, I'm going to play tanks today. Yeah. One day, maybe we'll get role select in solo queue, right? Come on, Blizz, don't disappoint me at BlizzCon. Anyway, we select main tank in our head, right? Because we can't do it in the game just yet. Map loads up, it's Gibraltar. Okay, I'm going to play Winston because of verticality. So that's the start of my plan, yeah? So I'm not just going I'm going to play Orisa. All I do is play Orisa. Orisa might not be the best tank, right? Winston might be more effective. You can say, well, Sty, I might be terrible at Winston, so I need to play Orisa. Then I just say to you, well, you need to go and learn Winston, especially if you want to play main tanks. So the plan is to pressure the enemy team with the Winston, yeah? Then, what am I going to do? Well, I'm not going to just sit on the payload as Winston. That's not what you do with him. You want to be pressuring them, forcing them back, forcing the enemy to make decisions. Maybe I've got a Genji on my team. So I say to the Genji, I'm going to dive the Ana. Come with me. Super basic. And I wait, and I go, Genji, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And then we just go into the back line. The Winston leap damage, the Tesla, the melee, the Genji coming through with his dash and chucking shurikens. She's dead. Then we disengage. We're basically going to win that fight because in Overwatch, it's dead simple. If you kill the enemy first at the start of a fight and it's a 5v6, you will probably win that game or that fight, right? You have such a massive advantage. All the stats show this, that you will just most likely win unless the enemy use loads of ultimates, and in that case you still win because they're investing ultimates to keep the fight going. So it is insanely crucial to have a plan. So let's just give another example. So what's my Eichenwald? Let's say we load into Eichenwald. I want to play supports today. We're on attack. What do I want to do? Which support am I going to play? Well, my plan is I can kind of play most of the support. So what I'm going to do is wait until somebody on my team selects a support. Oh, look, they've selected Lucio. So what am I going to do? Well, today I did want to play Brigitte, but Brigitte and Lucio is not a support backline. There is not enough healing there. What we need is a primary main healer at that point. We either need a Moira or we either need an Ana. Now, this is where it gets interesting, or we could use a Mercy. But this is where it gets super interesting because a lot of players might identify the fact they need a primary healer and just go, I'm going to play Ana. Ana's meta, or I'm just going to play Moira, or I'm just going to play Mercy. That's fine because we're kind of ticking the boxes like, yes, we do need the main healer because we've got the off healer with Lucio. Obviously, Lucio's got his speed buffs and all that stuff, which is great. But what about if we could say to our team, guys, let's maybe play Goats, for example, or 3-3, which is 3 supports, 3 tanks. Or maybe your team is just more tank heavy anyway. In that example, Moira is the better throughput healer when it comes to multiple tank targets. Now, Ana has better burst healing, so she can throw a nade in and she can burst tanks back up. But Moira is more survivable, right? So as the death ball moves forward, because remember, we've got a Lucio speeds us. We're running forward with Moira. We're spraying healing. We're throwing orbs. Maybe they try and hit me as Moira. I'm going to fade away. I'm healing. Value, ladies and gentlemen. Whereas if I was playing Ana, maybe I get picked off in the back line. Maybe the enemy do something to dive us back to kill me because Ana is quite diveable. Yes, she can grenade the floor. Yes, she can sleep. But if you're trying to deal with that while your team are pushing in, you're not healing them, which is a problem. So this, again, is having a plan. These are not hard concepts. They're super simple. But people literally do not do this. And like I said, when I was at the Spitfire event, speaking to people, these are intelligent people. And they're like, yes, Sty, I would go into games. And I didn't really have a plan. As soon as I was like, okay, my plan is this, and it's just really basic, I just started winning more games. So have a plan, ladies and gentlemen. Don't just go into the game blind or, well, without a plan. That's a bad idea. Okay, and lastly, to end this video, because I was going to do 5 or 10, top 10, whatever, things which cause you to lose SR or mistakes. But I've decided to keep this to 3. And this is the one which really annoys me. This is giving up after you lose the first fight, or just giving up at any point during the game. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you can always win, right? Even if, okay, we've all been there, right? So you're on, I don't know, Junkertown, let's say. Both teams push the point to the end. It's 3-3. Both teams have got 2 minutes to attack. The enemy team then pushes it all the way on their attack phase in overtime right to the end of the map. It's 6-3. Your team are now flaming each other. Oh my God, we're so bad. We didn't regroup. It's just terrible. There's no point playing. So then your team just pick Symmetra, Torb, that you just don't have a team comp, right? It doesn't matter what heroes are picked. You just don't have a team comp. Your main tank just starts playing Widow. It's like, whatever. We've lost the game, so I'm just going to leave. Oh, well, I'm not going to leave. I'm just going to give up. That is disgustingly bad because there is no reason why you can't do the same. There is no reason why you can't push it through in overtime. Yeah? Junkertown, just get a pirate ship with Bastion. Let's go. There's loads of things you can do, but the worst, the absolute worst, and this triggers me. Not many things trigger me, ladies and gentlemen. It's giving up after you lose the first fight. We're on Lijiang. We're on, I don't know, Gardens. In we go. We lose the first fight. The enemy's got a pharmacy combo. Suddenly, it's like, oh, our DPS is so bad. What was our soldier doing? What was our Widow doing? We just lost one fight, guys. You can't win every fight. Let's just regroup and go again. That's the answer. But more often than not, people will just give up. And that is so triggering to me. You are losing SR when you do this. Always play the game to the end and always play to win. Even be the player that says, look, guys, just calm down. We can win this. It's fine. We just lost the first fight. It doesn't matter. And then maybe suggest a way of getting around this. Like, Zen, can you discord the Pharaoh so we can burn it down? Maybe you don't have a Zen. Maybe you say, hey, Lucio, could you play Zen? I don't know. But come up with some sort of positive reinforcement for the team. And I just want to end the video on this kind of thing as well. Because while we're going down this track of like positivity, how to talk to teammates and all that stuff, you should really avoid being calling people out. So if people are playing bad and you know they're playing bad, if they're being trolls, if they're doing it intentionally to throw, then report them. Just use the report function, block the player and report them. You don't want to play with these players, so get rid of them and avoid them if you've got the space. Please give us more avoid slots. Blizzard as well. But don't be that person that says like, oh, we're losing because of our Widow. Our Widow is absolutely trash. Can we swap the Widow, please? Can Widow swap? Widow swap? And then what happens? Widow leaves voice chat. And then Widow just doesn't care. Then Widow's probably going to throw even more. So what I want you guys to take away from this video is a lot of the stuff or a lot of the reasons why you lose SR, it's you. Yeah. It's either you don't have a plan, you give up after engagements, or, as I said at the top of the video, you're just playing the wrong hero because you're playing something that doesn't really suit your playstyle. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Silos from this Unit Lost. I hope you enjoyed this video. I guess this is kind of like, not an advanced guide, but more of I want you guys to think of the game in a different way, and you will just gain SR. I can guarantee that. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Silos from this Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I will catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.